Hey, George. I hope that's how you pronounce your name. I don't know because you're different language and people from different languages they say it differently, so I'm not too sure. Basically, you showed that design that's on the screen right now, and I have I don't know, I have this really creative brain for designing and stuff. So when I looked at that picture, my mind went wild basically, and because of that, I have a design idea for that thing that you showed us. And it might actually be a design to make this design actually work, or to make it work better than it could. I don't know. It's an improvement, and what you have right now is pretty cool. But I think that the design I have for firing it would actually improve it, and you might actually be able to do something with it. As in turn it into like a real kind of thing, basically. So first off, what I want to say is that when you look at this thing, I looked at this part right here, right? The stick or whatever, I forgot the word, analog stick, whatever. And the way I seen it working is you can tilt it any which way, and it preps one of these things for release, basically. So it takes like the safety off, for example. So when you push it up, it would take the safety off of like the top or the bottom one, depending on how you set it up. And then you push the button, and then that one fires, basically. You know what I mean? And then this would be attached to one of those, whichever one. Like you'd get the string, and this opening is here, so you can actually get the string and actually attach it to one of the spears, and then it fires basically. And then you can like drop this, and it'd be attached somehow. Like you drop this, and then you'd have like another reel, and you just add like something. You'd add it to another shot basically. I mean, actually, yeah, you'd add it to another shot, and then do the same thing. So now you have two reels attached to two different fish, for example, or whatever, right? That's just the idea as long as the reel goes. But basically, if you're not bothering with the reel, then the idea still works without it, and you use this analog right here to actually fire each one. And basically, the idea I came up with was like, here's the analog, and here's the actual body or whatever, like this part right here, right? And then there's spears loaded into this or whatever. And what you do is you would set it up to where when you tilted this forward, there'd be like a board or something in here. And so when you tilted it forward, this would tilt forward, basically, and then it would release this one, pretty much. And so forth. And then you tilt it a different way, so now it's pushed against this one, and then that one would release. And then you could tilt it and push aim it towards that one, like you know what I mean? Like it, and of course it's like from the back as well, so it's gonna be hard to see from just this one angle. But like as you tilted the board, it would hit this one or to the left or to this side. You know what I mean? You can rotate the analog whichever way, and it would basically release the safety part, and you push the button, and then that one would fire, basically. And what you could do, another idea I had on top of all that was if you wanted with the inside bit, you know how it's like this or whatever, you can actually push the stick down or pull it up, or like whatever kind of mechanic you can get in there, and it would push all of them. So now all of the safeties are released, and then you can hit the button and fire all of them at once, pretty much. Now, as far as how to get that to work, I'm not too sure because I don't have the tools and stuff to, toy around and tinker with it. I can only use my head. But I gave you a pretty good idea, I feel, is to just kind of attach this to like something here, and then just attach a board here. And as you tilt it, it just spins it around certain ways. You know what I mean? So like, here's the circle, and then it goes down, and then there's the board, obviously. And if you tilt it this way, then contact is here, or however you set it up. Like I said, it depends on which way you have it tilt as you rotate it or whatever. And you can alter this part here to actually make it better. For example, trying to think of it off the top of my head. But like, there's ways to reverse it. I can't think of it right now, like off the top of my head. But if I had to like just take a guess, it'd probably be something like this, and then there's like an attachment here, and then makes it do this, or something like that. So when you tilt it left, it actually goes that way, or if you tilt it that way, it actually goes that way. You know what I mean? But yeah, like that's just kind of an idea that came into my head when I looked at the picture. Like I just literally looked at it for like 2 seconds, and I was like, oh, that works. And then you said you had no idea what this was for, and that kind of added into it as well. Because real quick, I got to turn this into a meta thing for my channel, my viewers and such. When you asked that question, it left it open for me, basically. So instead of kind of, okay, I get it, that's what it does, and that's all it does, and that's all it'll forever be, my mind was still open, and it was allowed to basically create a usage, basically. And I think that's why the meta sucks, basically, is because when people tell you how to think, then you don't think on your own, and no new ideas will come to that situation because we're instructed how to think. Whereas if no one tells you how to think, for example, how you said you don't know what it's for, it's kind of pointless, you said, it allowed me to think, basically. And that's basically the meta, in short, is people tell you how to play, so then when it's time for you to play, you only know how to play the way they told you. So when you don't tell them how to play, they have to figure it out, and that's how you get new ideas created. And that's why I do so well, because I don't look at the meta, I don't look at designed situations. When I do, it's basically you're probably one of the only people that actually does this kind of thing that I watch, and it's because you're open about it. So I really appreciate that, and the way you go about it is never closed-minded or nothing. So, but anyways, yeah, I just wanted to include that bit for my channel because I'm trying to teach the world how to think. I live in America, and Americans are pretty stupid and ignorant. Just kind of to give you an idea, using this. Like I said, you just tilt it a certain way, and like the disc is in here, and there's plenty of room in this area here to have any kind of like situation going on. So when you tilt, and then the circle inside's tilting certain ways, and basically then this one would fire, this one would fire, this one would fire, this one would fire, whatever. And again, if you wanted to use something like this, you could have it set up to this is actually attached to like your belt, for example. I'm not sure if like you'd want to do that, maybe a boat or something like that. And you literally just have this with like a locking hook. You know how like a mountain climber has a hook? You can just put that on the rope at the end and then just hook it onto the spear and then fire it through, right? And then you'd have another one on the boat, grab it, latch it on, fire it through, grab it, latch it on, fire it through. And you can even have it pre-set up to the point where like you have 6 lines already hooked up, right? And they're all hooked up to an individual spear, and then you push the stick down, or you pull the stick up, and releases all of the safety switches at once, and it just fires all of them. And then you have which one hits, they're all attached. You know what I mean? And again, you can say, oh well, you can just avoid this whole thing altogether and just say whatever, go away, and just have like buttons. And I think you actually had that in your video, but I wanted to actually include the stick instead of kind of just excluding it. Basically, I wanted to make it a part of it because that was their idea, you know what I mean? So I just ran with their idea and I made it better. At least I think so. And that's what I try to do, is that's one of the things that I do in my channel, is I take people's ideas and I make them better by putting them through my head, and I think about it, and I try to give them my version, and I try to one-up them, basically. But anyways, yeah, that's about it. Thank you for checking this out. Thank you for watching. I hope I made sense. If you have any questions, let me know, and I can go over this again. I don't mind. I have plenty of time. I hope you liked it, because that's it for today. Thanks, and bye-bye.